Unit 9. You can meet lots of important people. Vocabulary task. Read about these jobs. What is the main feature of each person's job? Write the word in the space. Now listen and check. 1.
I'm a tour guide. I get to see a lot of exotic places all over the world. I love the travel.
2.
I'm a teacher. I like my job because I feel that, in a way, the future of my students is in my hands. I like the responsibility.
3.
I like the flexible schedule of my job. I'm a flight attendant. I only have to work 3 days a week.
4.
I enjoy the prestige of my job. As a journalist, I get to meet a lot of important people.
5.
I'm a stockbroker. My job is stressful, but I'll be able to retire by the time I'm 40. The thing I like most about my job is the high pay.
6.
I'm a nurse. I love helping people get better. But sometimes I don't get home until late at night. My job has long hours.
7.
I love being a firefighter. I especially like the teamwork. My coworkers and I really count on each other during a fire.
8.
I'm a computer programmer. My company allows me to work from my computer at home. I love telecommuting.
Listening task. Look at the pictures. What do you think each person's job is? First listening. Listen. Where did each speaker work? 1.
I worked in an accessory shop in the middle of London. I used to work on Fridays and Sundays. It was quite tiring. I was on my feet the whole time. And I had to do quite menial things like tidy up. But I got a chance to practice my foreign languages on the tourists. We had a lot of customers from foreign countries. They often told me about where they were from, and I liked talking to them.
2.
I finally got a promotion at the fast food place. I was allowed to work the cash register, which was challenging because it had many pictures. It's for people who couldn't read or write who wanted to work as cashiers. So when the customer said, "Can I get a 2-piece with fries?" you'd look for the picture with the 2 pieces of chicken and fries. I would see how fast I could find the picture while the customer was telling me the order. It was like a game.
3.
My first job was data entry at an insurance company. It wasn't very hard. I pretty much did the same thing all day. The great thing about it was that I learned a lot about computers. Every time the computer crashed, I had to figure out how to fix it. My knowledge of computers is what got me the job I have now.
4.
I was working in Switzerland, actually, as a maid in a tourist hotel. It was up in the mountains, so you could ski after you got off work. It was cool, since I love skiing. I made good money, and the scenery was magnificent.
Real-world listening. Step 1. Predict. Here are some things that Amy likes. Meeting people. Travel. Writing email. Reading. Living in other countries. Interesting events. What do you think Amy's ideal job is? Now listen and check your prediction.
So, Miss Spencer, why did you apply for this job at CNN?
Well, I've always wanted to be a journalist, and I like traveling, and you can interview lots of important people.
Tell me about your experience in journalism.
Well, I make a newsletter for my family, and I worked on my high school newspaper, and I read a lot of newspapers and news magazines.
Do you think you're qualified for the prestige of this job?
Absolutely.
I've taken acting lessons, and I look good on camera, and I travel a lot, so I think I'd be good as a foreign correspondent.
What about teamwork? Have you ever worked as part of a team?
Of course. I was really great at sports in high school, and
You don't seem to have much experience as a writer.
well, that's not exactly true. I write a lot of email to my friends.
And you haven't taken any journalism courses, have you?
Well, I took a class in modern film, and one in communications, or something like that.
Well, thanks, Miss Spencer. We'll be in touch.
Language awareness. Talking about the past. Listen. Complete each sentence. 1.
I used to work in a clothing shop.
2.
Last week I had to work 50 hours at the restaurant.
3.
I have to sit all day in front of a computer.
4.
Then I became a journalist.
5.
I once had a job as a maid in a tourist hotel.
6.
I like working as a flight attendant.